The Walking Dead, Marcus Thompson's Last Stand. Chapter 1. The Supply Run. Marcus Thompson adjusted his grip on the weathered baseball bat, its handle wrapped in electrical tape from countless encounters with the undead. The former high school math teacher had learned to survive in ways his suburban life never prepared him for. 3 years into the apocalypse, he'd become something he never imagined: a scavenger, a fighter, a killer. The abandoned pharmacy loomed ahead, a relic of the old world. Inside, shelves still held vital medicine, crucial for the group sheltering in a fire station south of Atlanta. "Quiet in, quiet out," Marcus whispered to Sarah Chin, a former EMT whose skills had saved them countless times. A walker rounded the corner, a woman in a bloodied floral dress. Marcus swiftly crushed her skull with his bat. They entered through the back, flashlights slicing the dust. Though looted, the pharmacy still had supplies. Marcus grabbed antibiotics. Sarah took bandages and antiseptic. That's when they heard the voices outside. Chapter 2. Unwelcome Company. Well, what do we have here? The voice held the easy confidence of those who take what they want. Marcus saw them through the window. 5 men in leather jackets, bats wrapped in barbed wire, the unmistakable swagger of the saviors. Marcus recognized the leader immediately from descriptions he'd heard on the radio chatter between survivor groups. Negan's lieutenants were spreading out across Georgia, collecting tribute and crushing anyone who resisted. This group was clearly on a collection run of their own. "Looks like someone beat us to the good stuff," another savior called out, kicking over an empty display case. "But they might still be around. Check the back." Marcus grabbed Sarah's arm, pulling her toward the pharmacy's rear storage room. They needed to move fast. The fire station's group was depending on these supplies, and Marcus wouldn't let his people down. As they reached the storage room, the unmistakable sound of walkers groaning echoed from somewhere deeper in the building. The noise from the saviors had attracted attention. The wrong kind. Chapter 3. Trapped. "Shit," Sarah whispered as the groaning grew louder. Through a gap in the storage room door, Marcus could see shadows moving in the main pharmacy area. At least 6 walkers had wandered in from the street, drawn by the saviors' loud voices. Outside, the situation was deteriorating rapidly. "Contact left," one of the saviors shouted, followed by the wet thunk of metal meeting flesh. But more groans answered, many more. Marcus peered through a crack in the wall. The street was filling with walkers, dozens of them stumbling toward the pharmacy. The saviors had made too much noise and now everyone was trapped. "We can't stay here," Sarah said, checking her pistol's magazine. "That storage room connects to the basement. Maybe there's another way out." They crept deeper into the building as gunfire erupted outside. The saviors were making their stand in the parking lot, their shouts mixing with the hungry moans of the approaching horde. In the basement, Marcus found what he was looking for: a maintenance tunnel that connected to the building next door. But as they prepared to crawl through, footsteps thundered down the stairs behind them. Chapter 4. Unlikely Allies. 3 saviors stormed into the basement, tense and armed. The scarred leader aimed his rifle. "You know a way out?" Marcus heard the growing walker noise above. "Maybe. But we go together or we all die." The savior hesitated. "If you're lying..." A walker crashed down the stairs. Sarah shot it cleanly. "Move!" Marcus shouted, diving into a narrow tunnel. The others followed as the basement filled with the undead. They emerged in the basement of a nearby restaurant. Catching their breath, the leader, Eddie, radioed in. "This is Eddie. Sector 7's overrun." A chilling voice replied, one Marcus recognized. "Eddie, this is Negan. Status." Smooth and ruthless, the man taking over Georgia, one outpost at a time. "We lost Thompson and Rodriguez to a horde," Eddie reported. "Found some locals who helped us out." "What are your orders?" There was a pause. "Bring them back with you. Anyone who can survive what you just described might be useful. And Eddie, make sure they understand the benefits of cooperation." Marcus exchanged a glance with Sarah. They both knew what cooperation with the saviors meant: slavery at best. Chapter 6. The Escape. "You heard him," Eddie said, raising his rifle. "You're coming with us." Marcus had been ready. He lunged, tackling Eddie as Sarah dove behind a table. Gunfire exploded. Marcus wrestled for the rifle while Sarah dropped a flanking savior with 2 shots. Eddie managed to aim, but Marcus shoved the barrel aside. The shot missed and Marcus kneed him hard, sending him stumbling. "Sarah, the stairs!" Marcus yelled. Grabbing their packs, they raced into the restaurant above, Eddie's curses echoing behind them. Outside, the street was clearing. Their truck waited 3 blocks away. If they could reach it, they'd be safe. Chapter 7, Final Stand. They ran hard through the empty streets, the weight of their medical supplies pulling at Marcus's shoulders. Behind them, Eddie's remaining men were giving chase, their boots pounding on cracked asphalt. There. Sarah pointed to their truck, still untouched where they'd hidden it behind an abandoned gas station. As they turned the corner, Marcus froze. 5 walkers surrounded the truck. With the saviors close behind, they had to fight. "Cover me," he said, raising his bat. These walkers were fresh, faster, more dangerous. One lunged. Marcus dodged and smashed its skull. Sarah took down another with a clean shot, conserving ammo. Eddie's voice echoed, "There they are. Stop them." Marcus moved with brutal precision, ducking, striking, moving on. Sarah stayed close, dropping both walkers and saviors with sharp, efficient shots. The last walker fell just as Eddie appeared around the corner of the gas station. Marcus threw himself behind the truck's wheel as bullets sparked off metal. Chapter 8, Home. The truck roared to life as Marcus sped away, Eddie's shouts fading behind them. 20 minutes later, they reached the fire station. Their group, now family, rushed out. "Did you get the medicine?" asked Tom, the diabetic elder. Marcus nodded, lifting the supply pack. "We did. But the saviors are closing in. We need to prepare." As supplies were handed out, Sarah leaned in. "What about Negan? He's organizing something big." Marcus stared at their people, remembering rumors of a man named Rick Grimes building resistance. Maybe it was time to join him. "We survive," Marcus said. "Together." As the sun set over Georgia, Negan's empire grew. Rick readied for war. But here, Marcus's group had won one more day. And in the apocalypse, some days that was everything. Hope, fragile but alive, endured.